You're watching The Wellness Hour, leader in medical news and information. I'm Randy Alvarez. Today's topic, how small improvements to your smile can make a big difference. According to my first guest, it can make all the difference in your life. My first guest is well-known all over the world, Dr. David Hornbrook. Dr. Hornbrook, welcome to the program.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
All right, now before we get into today's topic, for people that don't know you, tell me a little bit about your practice, who's the typical patient, and what are the procedures you do?
Well, I have a general practice. It's here in San Diego, and my average patient, I couldn't say an average. My demographics are all over the board, from young teenagers to even the elderly. Things we do in our practice are designed to make people happy.
Okay, now, but you do everything. I mean, you do veneers, you do whitening. I mean, you do standard stuff.
Everything.
Because a lot of people know you as just the cosmetic dentist guy.
Right, and that's a misnomer.
I mean, you do fillings too? I mean, you do
absolutely.
all that.
Now, we don't use metal because I think there's compromises there, both aesthetically, and we can talk about that, as well as strengthening the teeth. But we do fillings, we do anterior teeth, posterior teeth, cleanings, everything.
Okay, good. And we talked on the telephone. And what I like about you is you truly believe the smile is pretty important. How important is it? I mean, you're a dentist, of course you think it's important.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think it's a little bit more than just pretty important. I think it's incredibly important.
All right.
I mean, we've all been with people or seen people, and we've made an evaluation of whether it's their economic status, their educational level, their cleanliness. We've evaluated people by their smile. Maybe we didn't realize that at first until we looked back and maybe they made a change, or wonder why people close their mouth, and then when they open it you think, thank God they do close their mouth when they talk.
All right.
And you look at magazines, whether it be Cosmopolitan or People or Vogue, every advertisement, they're showing the smile. I mean, I was just looking at a magazine article over here, just an ad, and there's this beautiful woman, and it's for eye makeup, yet what shines on there is the smile. So it's very important.
Now, you say you see transformations. I mean, you fix their smile, and they completely change.
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah, because it's not just about their smile, it's about their self-image. All of a sudden they feel good about themselves, and they look in the mirror, it's like, I'm a different person, I feel good about who I am. Or when they interact with others, and other people say, God, you look great, you lose weight, you're taking care of yourself, new haircut, whatever it is, and it's their teeth. So it's really about the self-image, not just the teeth themselves.
But you pioneered cosmetic dentistry for the most part. Is that right?
I've been very busy over the last 20 years. And so, it's a passion of mine. And when you're passionate about something, you want to share it.
But you invented procedures and techniques approaching how to make a beautiful smile, or the way the teeth come together. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I would say that's fair to say.
Okay, and you teach, and we'll get off of you for a moment, but you teach dentists all over the country. I mean, in fact, you were somewhere last week.
Yeah, all over the world.
Where were you last week?
I was in Australia. 3 cities, Sydney, Melbourne, and Brisbane.
And what do you teach dentists, by the way?
It's basically about the smile design process, the importance of a smile, and utilization of new materials and techniques. Dentistry's changed so much that the average dentist just can't keep up, or they're not interested in developing techniques themselves. So I almost feel it's like my obligation, although it's really to benefit me because I enjoy sharing. But I think it's my obligation as I develop techniques, or I see changes in my patients' personalities when I change their smile, to share that with other dentists so they can share that with their patients. Again, our goal typically is to what I call cheat Mother Nature, or euthanize, and that doesn't mean put to sleep, but allow someone to look more youthful. And as we age, what happens is we tend not to show upper teeth. If you look at people in their 20s, when they smile, they show almost only upper teeth. When you look at people in their 50s, 60s, and 70s, they only show lower teeth.
Interesting.
And it has a lot to do with natural wear. And you look at an aged smile, it tends to be flat. Also, when we lose our collagen and muscle support of our upper lip, and when our teeth are worn, you smile and you don't show your upper teeth. So we can cheat Mother Nature just by lengthening teeth that follow the lip, that follow the face. I mean, those are the way we cheat Mother Nature, or we allow people to feel better about themselves.
When did you know you want to be a dentist? I mean, you don't look like a dentist to me, but I mean, when did you know you want to be a dentist?
It's kind of interesting is that I wanted to be a dentist as early as junior high school. In fact, I just saw my son, who goes to the same high school that I did, showed me a yearbook, my yearbook. As a senior, it actually says, future plans, dental school.
You said dental school bored you out of your mind.
Dentistry, and again, I think you can relate to this. You have a filling done, and you're basically being technical, not so much artistic.
Okay.
So dental school was about being technical and mechanical. And I was bored out of my mind. But as soon as I saw the artistic side of it, where we can change people's life with a beautiful smile, where you can design smiles, we can pick shades, we're looking at face, we're looking at skin, we're looking at the whites of the eyes, and we're designing smiles, all of a sudden it's artistic and creative, and I love it.
So when should somebody do something about their smile, by the way? They're watching this.
Well, I think anytime they realize they're not crazy and happy about their smile. I think everyone should look in the mirror and love their smile. And I think that's the decision. And you know, if you look in the mirror and you wish your teeth were whiter, that's the decision that you should make to make a change. You look in the mirror and you have an old crown on the front tooth that you see a little bit of gray and you don't like that. You can get rid of that.
That's an easy one.
That's an
because
easy
I see
one.
those all over the place.
Absolutely. You know, I have a saying that investment in yourself pays dividends for a lifetime. Make an investment in your self-image, the way you feel about yourself, the way you look. That'll pay dividends for a lifetime, whether it be in employment or career.
And there is a credibility. I mean, you pointed out with some of your photos. I mean, people look almost like more successful when they have this.
Oh, absolutely.
This great smile.
Absolutely. You know, there's a couple studies that I'm going to refer to. Both of them were done by the American Academy of Cosmetic Dentistry, and they polled North American adults. So these weren't dentists; these were just the general public. And the first question they asked was, have you ever evaluated someone's socioeconomic or educational level by the appearance of their smile? 75% of people said yes.
Interesting.
75%. Then they said, how do you feel about the attractiveness of your own smile? 50% said, I don't like my own smile. So we've all judged that. And you know, you look at Beavis and Butthead, for those that know the cartoon where their teeth are all over the place.
That's right. The bad kids in movies are always.
Or even Billy Bob teeth. You know, several years ago where you could take an impression, you send it off, and you'd make these fake teeth where there's spaces and they're long and there's got a lot of gummy smile. Instantly, if I had a Billy Bob teeth in my mouth, you would think I'm probably not educated.
Make judgments.
Absolutely you do. I mean, that's one of the first things. And another interesting survey too, again, getting back to your original question, how important do I think the smile is? You know, I think the general public does as well. There was a survey sent out by Muscle and Fitness magazine, and they sent it out to both men and women. Okay. And they asked them, what do you look for in evaluating the attractiveness of someone from the opposite sex? Okay, it wasn't even about physical, it just said, what do you look for? Number one on both of them was smile. Number one. And sense of humor came up there, and honesty, and you would think it would be tight buns and nice legs, right? Muscle and fitness. Smile, number one.
Interesting. So somebody watching it, I mean, if they don't like their smile, do something about it. Go in for a consult.
Absolutely.
You say small things. Great information. You brought some photos, and you know, if you're just tuning in now, we're talking to America's cosmetic dentist, Dr. Hornbrook, and is right here in San Diego. You brought a lot of photos.
I did.
So let's take a look. And we're going to kind of have to rush through them a little bit because of time.
Yeah, no problem. And I wanted to show you some things because, you know, I think you're a little apprehensive in believe me in saying, you know, smile can change your life.
I do think you're exaggerating. I told you. I said, is it really that important?
I do. And if I sound energetic, because I am. I'm very passionate about this. Again, I see this in my practice. And again, 25 years ago, I would have said, I don't think it's that big of a role. After as many times as I've done this and as many patients I've seen, it's huge in changing someone's life.
So you think it's because of what you've seen as far as your transformations that makes you more excited about this?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because I get excited. You know, if you came and you didn't like your smile, you came into my office and we sat down and chatted. You know, I've done enough of this that I would know exactly where we would want to go. I would know exactly.
So you could see that end result?
Oh, absolutely. The moment that you smile.
Do you ever get excited and say, boy, this is going to be good?
All the time.
Okay.
And my dental assistant, Danielle, who's been with me 18 years, you know, lots of times in the consult, I'll look at her and I'll say, is this going to be absolutely incredible? And she's fired up because she's seen the same thing. This is a good example, I think, we've been talking about, and that's really cheating Mother Nature. You look at John here, and you look at his before shot. His teeth are yellow. They're short. He's got a lot of wear and a lot of destruction. And, you know, he's 40 years old, right? His teeth age him.
All right.
And my goal is to make him look younger and feel better about himself.
Is that unusual to see this? Because when I look at the up close, they're like chopped off.
No. Especially in that age group, that 45, even 55 years old, and we see it in more youthful patients as well, where either from years of grinding or just the stress or the natural wear, their teeth become very flat. And so as they become flat, they tend to chip the edges, which give them, you know, kind of that rough edge look, as well as they don't show as much teeth.
Do they come in and say, I don't smile, doctor? I mean, did they tell you, you know, I don't smile?
Oh, yeah. A lot of them do and a lot of them don't.
Okay.
Remember, a lot of them, especially if they're a new patient, maybe no one has told them what they can do for them. Maybe no one's asked them the question. One of my favorite quotes of all time is by Wayne Gretzky, and he says, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So I think with you, if you came in as a consult, someone like John, that if I don't take the opportunity to say, you know what, I can change your smile if you want to, or if you could wave a magic wand, is there anything you'd like to change about your smile? Because maybe no one's asked you that before.
No dentist.
Absolutely.
Is that your frustration? I'm picking up on frustration.
Yes.
When you teach dentists across the country, if you just tuned in, I mean, he lectures, teaches dentists all over the country. I mean, some of your groups, you're speaking to 1,000 dentists. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
Is your gripe, hey, let them know their options?
I think it's
they're
very
prejudging
important.
people?
I think they're prejudging.
I don't want to get wrapped up in on this.
And it could be the economic situation thing.
Okay.
And, you know, and that's another thing. Remember we talked about socioeconomic with people that maybe have,
interesting,
you know, unattractive smiles. And lots of times I think dentists look at a smile that isn't as ideal as possible, just assume that that person maybe doesn't have the money to fix them. All the time. All the time. So is it a pet peeve of mine or gripe?
Is it? Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I think the general public needs to know from us, the dentists, because we're the people that are going to educate them, what we can do for them.
But also some dentists may not have the eye of what's possible. There's a little of that going on?
Absolutely. I mean, we talked about the creative aspect. You know, dental school basically breeds a technical, mechanical health provider.
So they're not looking at the beauty maybe?
Yes.
Possibly?
Yeah.
Okay, so this guy, what'd you do for him?
Well, you look at John, and you look at his after shot, and this is immediately after.
Nice.
And it almost looks awkward because he's never smiled before. Before, you look at his before shot, and basically we had to tickle him to get him to smile because he didn't want to show his teeth.
Okay.
And so these are the kind of transformations we can make. Again, look at him, 10 years younger. And
on a job interview, one guy looks a little more credible.
Absolutely.
Than the
Absolutely.
other. Good.
Let me show you another one. Good example. A woman in her 40s with worn out teeth. You know, there's a saying that teeth should last a lifetime, but I think the problem is teeth typically don't look good for a lifetime. And you get to a point where you take care of yourself, an attractive woman, and her teeth aren't attractive compared to the rest of her. And you look at the change. Look
I mean,
at
when they
before
come
and
in, do
after.
they say, what can you do for me?
Absolutely.
Do they ever say, you've never seen anything this bad?
Yeah, sometimes they think I've never seen that bad, but I have. I've seen just about everything. And you look at a case like this where, you know, she has worn teeth, broken teeth, previous crowns that really have worn out with time. She had sensitivity. You know, we got her healthy first, her gums, made sure she didn't have any problems with sensitivity, and we give her a gorgeous smile. I mean, look at the difference between the before and after.
That's a beautiful smile. Very nice.
Here's another one. Now, this is a little different.
All right.
This is what we call instant orthodontics. You know, what we find now with the materials and the techniques is literally we can do orthodontics in 1 to 2 weeks instead of 18 to 24 months. A lot of adults, and again, I don't know your scenario, if your teeth were crooked, would you want to go through braces for 2 years? I mean, you're a busy person. I wouldn't. And I wouldn't either. And a lot of, especially in this as busy as people are, they're not going to want to go through braces. But
so what is
nice
instant orthodontics?
Instant orthodontics typically will do crowns or veneers or modified veneers, very conservative restorations where we can actually straighten teeth.
Okay.
Straighten teeth, lengthen teeth, put teeth in ideal position by just changing the thickness of the
So when you look at this woman, by the way, is this one of those you go, oh boy, this is going to be great?
Oh, absolutely. Are you kidding? Yeah, this is one that I'm going to get excited about.
Okay.
I mean, you know, and they can sense that. You know, I call it the fast-moving train to paradise. I look at this woman.
Fast-moving train to paradise.
And I say that because this patient, as she sits there with me, and I look, and she can sense my excitement and my enthusiasm because I know what she's going to say when we're done. I think she can sense that. And she can sense that Danielle can sense that. And the reason I call it fast-moving train to paradise is because she wants to feel what I feel. I mean, she can feel my. I mean, you've been around people that are enthusiastic, and you want to feel what they're feeling, right?
Well, I'm feeling it right now. Yeah. I'm excited about this.
And so, you know, I look at this and look at the change.
Nice.
I mean, she's a different woman, a different person.
That's beautiful.
And you know, the nice thing, the other thing we see about.
It's subtle, by the way. These don't look like. Yeah. Look, I got to tell you something. I came into this interview, you know, because we talked on the phone and you say, you know, wait till you look at my photos, you know, this and that. And I said, I feel like I could spot them. You said, no, not my photos. And sure enough, I mean, these look like natural teeth.
Well, they should.
So good for you. And I'm not trying to side with you, like I told you.
Yeah. Well,
I think
you can totally side with me. That's all right.
Right. This is good. This is good.
Yeah. And again, that's my goal. I want my patients to have a beautiful, gorgeous smile.
Is it men and women, by the way?
Oh,
more
absolutely.
men or more women, I should say? Than
probably a percentage would be somewhere about 60-40. And, you know, originally we thought, oh, only the women want to have these beautiful smiles. But again, in this,
so men are coming in.
Absolutely.
The real men?
Real men. Yeah, real men.
Tough guys are coming in.
Absolutely.
Okay, good.
Lots of times it's from prodding from their girlfriend or wife, but
all right.
They want to look good too. I mean, I want to feel good about myself.
Sure.
I want to look in the mirror and say, you know what, I like these things about me, and the smile is one of them. I mean, here's Brad, and here's a situation where a single dark tooth gives you a totally different impression of who he is. I mean, look at his before.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Okay, yeah. I mean, he's a very successful businessman.
What does he do with that? Did he smile before, you think?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. Again, we have to prod these people. It's like we take this before photo and Come on, Brad, smile, smile, smile. Brad, let me see some teeth. And then we got to say something that he cracks a smile. We take a photo.
And how many years does he go like this?
Well, this
where
is
he's
probably
not happy.
20 some odd years.
Interesting. And it was a quick fix, in a way.
2 weeks. Yeah, and look at his after. Totally different person. You look at that before and after, totally different judgment on your count of who that person is as a human being. And look at this one. Very successful attorney here in San Diego. Okay, look at his before. Notice he doesn't show any teeth. I could not even get him to show teeth when he smiled.
So that's his smile?
Yes.
Right there? Okay.
It's basically a biofeedback mechanism. From years and years of not liking his smile, he's basically hidden his smile with his lips. In fact, we have to retrain these patients. Tell you a really funny story. For my dad's 60th birthday, I decided I was going to give him a new smile. He had average age teeth. He had an old crown in front, and he didn't show his smile, right? So every time he smiled, all the family photos, he didn't show any smile, right? Any teeth. So we ended up doing veneers and crowns, lengthening the teeth, giving him a more youthful smile. And one night, I went over to my parents' house for dinner, and I walked by the bathroom, and he's in there going, and I opened it, I said, what the heck are you doing? He says, I'm training myself. And I said, for what? He says, I never liked my teeth. Now I love my teeth. I've got to get used to pulling up my lips so I can show my teeth. And look at Danny there. I mean, it's absolutely incredible.
That's a big difference. Okay,
Huge.
so this guy's your attorney. I mean, it's a different presence. No doubt about it.
Big time. Yeah. And whether he's working with clients or in a social atmosphere, he's at a party with a bunch of people, and he's going to come off as a different person. We're going to sense that.
And people start complimenting them about their smile?
Yes.
I mean, do they tell you that?
Oh, absolutely. My goal is that their friends and family don't know that they've had any dentistry done.
All right.
Biggest compliment I can get is when they say, you know what, I'm getting a lot of compliments on my smile. Not, you have nice veneers, or where'd you get your teeth done, or who's your dentist. Of course, I want them to tell
Dr. Hornbrook.
Tell them who my dentist is, but that's the ultimate compliment. I would rather have them come in and say, well, no one's really said a lot about my teeth, but they say I look better, or younger, or went on vacation, or whatever. It's more relaxed.
Can you teach this? Again, we're talking about cosmetic dentistry, but how small little things, improvements to your smile, can make a big difference. But when you're lecturing, let's say to 1,000 dentists, and people need to know, I mean, people travel from other countries to hear you speak. What's the toughest thing to teach if this is so much art?
Yeah, this is the toughest part. The communication with the patient, creating value for our patients, making sure that they understand what we can do. Again, dentistry is a technical profession. Typically the dentist wants to know, what materials do I use? How do I prepare the teeth? What do I cement or bond these on? Or how do I do orthodontics that will be faster, or cheaper, or quicker?
That's important, but
they need to understand how to communicate with our patients.
Okay.
This is a gift. I mentioned that before.
You're giving them a gift.
I think so.
The patient.
Absolutely. I look at Danny, I think I've given him a gift. By changing his smile, which changes personality. Once I put those veneers or crowns, or we do bonding, whatever we do, once I do that, then it's up to them to change the way they look at themselves and the way people sense them. But I think I have the opportunity, and again, we talked about a gripe or a pet peeve of other dentists. I think if they don't offer this gift to their patients, that's a disservice.
Good for you. Good for you. Now, we have time for just a couple more.
How about 3?
Okay,
if you go fast. Short and sweet. Again, another one.
It's like you're showing me pictures of your kids here. Oh,
they are kind of like my kids. Absolutely. I know everything about these people, and it's a different type of dentistry. These are patients that when I see them, I hug them, or they hug me as they get out of the chair. Totally different environment than typically we would expect from the dental office. I mean, we want to be in a pleasurable environment, and they're my friends. But San Diego especially, people take care of themselves. We work out, we go to the dermatologist, we get our facials, we take care of our hair, we take care of our skin. We should be taking care of our teeth.
All right.
And that's a lot of this. And we see this woman here, before and after, different person. She looks more youthful, more vital, more energetic. That's what we should all want to feel. The other thing is kind of interesting, and this is Steve. And we didn't really talk about this so much, but how people change some things after they get their smile. Some previous ones, maybe you didn't pick up on the before and after. Their hair was totally different. Why? Because they looked in the mirror and they felt younger, more youthful. Now they had to have a more youthful haircut. Or they had to be a blonde instead of brunette, or brunette instead of a blonde. All of a sudden they got to make changes to go with this more beautiful smile. What we see a lot with men, we talked about hiding and the biofeedback, is men grow mustaches to hide their smile.
Yeah,
now we give
the
them a
walrus
gorgeous
mustache.
Absolutely. Because it takes away from that ugly smile. And what we see 95% of the time, men that come in with a big mustache, we give them a beautiful smile, and they come back in and they shave their mustache over and over and over again. I mean, look at the before and look at the after. mean, he looks 15 years younger. I mean, he shouldn't have a mustache.
Looks like a different guy, actually. A little bit different.
Absolutely. I mean, he's a
Much
handsome
different.
guy. You know, last one, and I said that, I know about the last two. You know, a woman in her 30s had some previous dentistry done that was just too yellow. Beautiful woman, beautiful skin, yet her teeth were too yellow, and they weren't feminine. They weren't youthful. We went in and replaced her previous dentistry with some of the new materials we're using now, and we're using metal-free for everything.
Okay.
I mean, metal is out, in my opinion.
Do they still do metal?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, but there's better materials, more
Okay.
conservative, better looking,
Okay.
healthier, right? You look at this again. Look at the before. Look at that whites of her eyes in
Pretty
relationship
gal.
to
Beautiful.
gorgeous. Look at the whites of her eyes compared to her teeth in the before. Look at the whites of her eyes compared to her teeth in the after. I mean, you literally could take most of these cases. We could block off the shots here, and you would say that person is more attractive or more youthful or more vital, and you didn't even see the teeth.
Just because of their teeth?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think anybody could argue with that. It's very nice, very nice.
It's very cool. And that's why I'm excited about it.
Now, did they ever tell you, Dr. Hornbrook, you changed my life? Or, I mean, do you hear those kind of things?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, we have a
I mean, you really
testimonial
do?
book.
They say that?
Oh, yeah, and they'll write me thank you notes. And, you know, interesting, I had a gentleman that we did veneers on, and we basically did his upper 10 teeth. And he's an audio-visual engineer, so he's the one that goes into these homes and offices and puts in, you know, the AV and the surround sound and whatnot, right? So he spent some money in our office, spent a little bit of time, and he wrote me the nicest note. He said that you've changed my life because you changed my business. So he came in another time for our photograph. He said that this last year, he did 3 times more business than he had ever done in his career. And he said the only thing different that he's done is his smile. Nothing else. No different advertising. It wasn't word of mouth. It was his smile. And what he was saying is basically he would hand these bids over to these people, and a lot of it was a lot of money, you know, surround sound or home stereo. And his confidence in being able to look the patient in the eye and smile for the first time, he attributed the increased acceptance of these bids to a smile.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, you know, introverts into extroverts. You know, we've heard this with teenagers that are missing teeth.
Do people do this on an occasion? Like they're getting married, they're
not so
getting
much.
a divorce? No. Okay.
Well, let's go to the divorce deal. Yes. Especially people that are re-entering the dating scene that maybe have been married 10 plus years, and now all of a sudden they look in the mirror and say, you know what, I'm not attractive or as attractive as I was 10 years ago when I first got married. But I didn't have to maybe worry about it because I wasn't out hunting. And now I've got to go to the bar, I've got to start, you know, Match.com or whatever it is. I need to start somewhere, and the smile is a great place to start because you saw what it does as far as euthanizing and feminizing, especially these women.
Now, people that see this, by the way, will be in North Carolina. I mean, they're going to be all over the place.
Right.
Okay. They travel distances to see you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I call San Diego.
I mean, you're going to be looking at your smile for the next 20, 30
absolutely.
years.
Yeah.
You might as well get it done by somebody.
Yes. I totally agree. And
Do you believe that?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, this is something that, you know, nothing lasts forever, but it's going to last 15 plus years.
One more photo, and then we're done. This is really good stuff.
I mean, this is Cheryl, getting good example of the age smile. Worn.
Pretty smile, though.
Teeth.
Nice
Well,
smile.
she's a pretty girl. Yeah. But when she smiles, you look at her lips, you don't really look at her teeth because her teeth don't enhance or add to her appearance. And we want that to be additive. Look at the after.
Very nice.
And look at her smile. As we design these cases, we want to make sure that the teeth follow the lower lip because, again, look in Vogue or Cosmo or anyone that you say has an attractive smile. Look at the way the teeth follow the lower lip. Notice the amount of teeth that are displayed even at rest. That's what our goal is, and you know, I think Cheryl's a real good example of this.
I mean, your office, you're located where?
I'm in La Mesa.
La Mesa.
And you mentioned about driving. You know, I call San Diego the 20-minute city. So, you know, it's 20 miles from anywhere, anytime. But we see people from all over the country.
Do you feel the same way? You know, in fact, Drew Orden from The Doctors, well known, he's on that show, The Doctors, plastic surgeon. He says, Randy, I'm telling you, he goes, they're going to be looking at their faces for the next, 30, 40, 50 years.
Right.
So you better go to something that really is good.
I totally agree.
And we just mentioned that, but
this isn't about a cleaning. You know, this isn't a temporary deal. I mean, this is something
right there in the middle of
you
your
want to
face.
have it designed properly, and that's the whole design process.
I mean, you're like the cosmetic dentist to the cosmetic dentist. Is that true? I mean, people say that about you.
Yeah, we treat a lot of cosmetic
I had a
dentists.
consultant, I had a practice consultant in here yesterday, and he said, you know, Randy, you're meeting dental royalty. This guy's the best. That's the exact quote. It's what he said. This guy's the best of the best.
I appreciate him saying that.
Do you feel that way? I mean, secretly, do you feel like I'm at the top of my game? And do you think you could get any better?
I think I'm at the top of my game. And I think I'm really good at what I do because I love what I do.
And what defines how good you are? Like, how do you know if you've done a great job?
I feel that I've done a great job when I look and I'm 100% satisfied, and the patient looks in the mirror and they're ecstatic with their new smile. And they know that they've made the right investment, and the investment in themselves. I'm going to tell you another quick anecdotal story. I was teaching a course 2 weeks ago in San Diego in my office, and we had 10 young dentists. I do this group with these young dentists, teaching these young dentists who've only been out of school 1 or 2 years. And we had 2 different patients, and one was 19 years old. She had an old cap or crown in front of her tooth, and she had actually chipped it and metal was exposed. And the other was a 50-year-old woman that had big spacing and almost that Billy Bob teeth, right? So this young girl came in, darling, beautiful young woman with this metal front tooth. I thought maybe it had just chipped about a month ago. Turns out that it chipped when she was 12 years old, which means that all through her teenage and high school years, she had metal on her front tooth. I mean, that's crazy,
wow.
as ruthless as kids were. We just put the temporaries on. She looked in the mirror, and tears just flowed down her cheeks. It was absolutely incredible. That's when I know I've done a great job.
Good, good. So final message. Somebody watching this, they don't like their smile.
They should give me a call. Or they should at least seek what's available.
Come in for a consult.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you meet with them, by the way?
Absolutely. I spend a lot of time. This is not a mill. So they're not coming in seeing a bunch of different people or not seeing me. I do all the dentistry in my office. And we spend a lot of time with our patients. Again, I want to get to know you as a person. This isn't about glass or teeth or restorations. It's about you as a person, who you are, what you enjoy, how you dress.
But why does that matter when designing a smile, though?
Because the smile is going to change your personality. I think the smile defines you. And I want to make sure I know who you are. And you look at these smiles, they're all different, right? It's not this cookie cutter white chiclet.
You
Because
customize the smile to their personality.
Oh, absolutely.
Really?
Absolutely. Personality, skin tone.
We're going to have you come back and talk about that, because I don't know if I'm ready for that part of this interview. I want to thank you for coming on the show. Great stuff.
I've enjoyed it.
You've been watching The Wellness Hour, leader in medical news and information. I'm Randy Alvarez. If you'd like to see this interview again online, visit our website at wellnesshour.com. Of course, you could search Dr. Hornbrook on YouTube as well and visit his site. For now, I wish you good health.